Thank you for visiting the CoinSeries channel again. Who are you with? Your vote enter in the option community. Since this XRP settlement exposes an untrustworthy perspective on actual events, it would be beneficial to review it in order to alter my stance. Before moving further with the case, please view the whole video. Additionally, please consider clicking the like button. Additionally, you can subscribe to my channel to be notified whenever we release similar videos. Please know how much I appreciate it, and I would love it if you could watch the video with me. A fresh front has opened in the protracted conflict between Ripple and the SEC, referencing a controversial plan from 3 years ago. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stiles, recently released a statement in which he openly lambasted Gary Gensler and other SEC executives. According to Stewart Charity, the market understands Ripple's position, that is, the firm will not be resolved internally, differently because the SEC wanted to settle with Ripple before suing the company. For XRP to be considered a security, Ripple would have had to quickly amend the existing securities legislation. But Ripple turned it down, saying that XRP wasn't a security and that legislation surrounding cryptocurrencies were murky. For reasons that will become clear, we still feel negatively about this, even though it occurred 3 years ago. If we want to stay out of court, Chris and Brad suggested this alternative: the CEC should let the market know that XRP is a security and give them a deadline to comply. Ripple might then sidestep the legal action. Some favorable developments have befallen Ripple this year, following 3 years of litigation that culminated in a landmark verdict delivered on July 13. It is now demonstrated that XRP is not a security. There was a constant need to understand XRP's existing status, which Alder D stressed throughout. Please refer to this page for further details. It is unclear whether the SEC will compensate Ripple for their financial losses. This year's cyber has been solid and dependable from the beginning. Ripple won several favorable court verdicts after a 3-year legal struggle with the SEC. Most notably, on July 13, a summary decision was issued stating unequivocally that XRP should not be considered a security. As Alder has already mentioned, the main objective was to demonstrate that XRP is not a security technology. As God pointed out, the victory was brought about by the SEC's unwavering opposition against the tenacity of rippling ripples in litigation. Despite suspicions, the firm was successful. He went on to say that the SEC's inconsistent assertions were exposed by the legal proceedings. Particularly, he highlighted the fact that Magistrate Sarah Nepper had scoffed at this goal-oriented posture, saying that it was more motivated by its ambitions than by lawfulness. Meanwhile, Ripple's punishment for claimed legal violations will be decided during the remedies part of the litigation, which means the fight will continue. After this, SEC will have to decide whether to investigate a possible settlement with Ripple or file an appeal against the decision of the Second Circuit. Despite the uniqueness of the case, the legal conflict was played to a high standard. Some businesses might not be able to make it through the regulatory red tape. The SEC is relying on Howey and waiting for the Supreme Court to decide on the complex matter of security because they are unable to pass new regulations at this time. According to the Securities and Exchange Commission, every crypto asset offered and sold as a security must adhere to the disclosure process that was set down by Congress in 2020. The SEC has officially requested that Ripple acknowledge XRP as a security asset. In an article, Al Derry, a Ripple's legal officer, said this: "To ensure compliance with crypto rules, the request is being made. In order to acquire a temporary permit, the CAQ has contacted the company. Here we will go over the current situation about the disagreement between Ripple and the SEC." While I was thinking about the 3rd year of the lawsuit, he brought up the proposal and settlement terms that the SEC had given before the lawsuit was filed. As a result, the institution's lawyer, Chief Stewart Alderney, divulged information about the SEC's pre-defense lawsuit settlement offer in December 2020. The SEC made the offer before the case was filed. On December 22, 20, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, lodged a complaint against Christian Larson and Bradley Garrett, in addition to the company's co-founder and current CEO, Chris Larson. The SEC had offered a settlement to Ripple before taking legal action. This information was disclosed 3 years ago today under the banner "The Securities and Exchange Commission filed a complaint against them." But that was then. The business and its workers had accepted a proposal from the SEC by the year 2020. Per Alta's post, the SEC has recommended that Ripple formally acknowledge XRP as a security asset. It is crucial that XRP be officially acknowledged as a security and that it meets market demands promptly. Ripple has not yet allocated funds based on its position. On the flip side, it denied the SEC's requests, stating that XRP isn't a security and that the SEC hasn't created a regulatory framework for crypto compliance. There have been claims that the SEC has not done enough to ensure crypto compliance by issuing clear regulations. 3 years after the XRP case, much has surfaced regarding the Securities and Exchange Commission's inability to guarantee sufficient industry compliance in the face of huge industry problems and firearm transfers. Rather, it reverted to its prior practices by suing prominent cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance and Coinbase, who had before adhered to Modify Ad. The XRP Act continued to be the focal point of the lawsuit despite the fact that Clayton Heyman Jenner and other persons and organizations have different viewpoints. This continued even though the matter was being considered in court and prominent U.S. crypto groups had previously stated that crypto assets are exempt from the existing securities legislation. The Securities and Exchange Commission continues to make steady but measured progress in its efforts to draft crypto-specific regulations. His number one goal was to clarify that XRP is not a security. Regardless, the procedures between Ripple and the SEC in July 2023 produced a new framework for cryptocurrency regulation. Elisa Torres has spoken vehemently against the notion that XRP is a security for the last many months, but her ruling that XRP is not a security in and of itself remains valid. The value of Ripple currency is not anticipated to increase over the long run. The alternative cryptocurrency is currently trading at a price that is twice below its moving average. Price action has returned to the move average lines, but buyers have unable to maintain price traction. This is where we shall end. If you thought this video was fun, please hit the like button and subscribe. Goodbye for now.